All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Principal Cairo broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm your host, Eminem, and I'm joined by Emma. All right, no, who are we?
Mm,
Who are we? What's your last name?
Moriarty.
Moriarty. Yes, we are here. So, welcome to the Tuesday Night Principal Cairo broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. We're excited to have you here on a Tuesday night, summertime. So, Emma doesn't have school, so she can help me co MC tonight, right, Em?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope everybody's having a great summer. We're still reeling from that last Dynamic Essentials meeting, though. That was epic. I've been watching Steve Judson jump on and go live. I saw JJ Schmidt had an awesome video. A lot of people sharing some breakthroughs. I know we say it's the best DE ever, but this one definitely brought the goods. I'm still reeling from this one, and I know our presenter will be sharing as well because I know he was there for that epic DE. But let's get to some announcements before we go too long here. We've got upcoming DEs. We can go back in time to July 16th, 19th. Just kidding. That was the epic DE. So love that that's still on there so we don't forget that one. Then we go to the fall, October 22nd to the 25th is our next one in Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. So that's your next one. You're just under 3 months away from that one. You can always get registered. Then we're in the winter in Atlanta, January 28th to the 31st. And then we're in Clearwater, Sheridan Sand Key in April. You can register for these and any of our DEs at lifede.com. You can get a hotel room out of the room block anytime as well through there. We have, the best way to do any of this, by the way, is to become a member. If you're a member of Dynamic Essentials, $129 a month. Do the math on it. It is cheaper than paying for each and every DE. Become a member. I'm a member. Tons of members. It's easy. It comes out every month. It's not a big thing. And you get all the conferences. You get all of the recordings from past Ds. If you're an associate, it's half off that, 65 per month. Again, lifede.com, become a member. And don't forget to be part of a connect group, the teams. We did a lot of the team meetings. Purple team is the best. So we got that connect group slide there, Danny. There they go. Okay. Purple team, as we know, is the best. We were the loudest. But, if you want to be on another team, yellow, blue, or orange, you can also compete. So, but bring it. Keep in touch with your teammates and connect group people so that you can stay connected in between DEs. Yes, you remember, you're on the purple team. You're my daughter. Okay. Okay. So for tonight, we got Patrick joining us in the house here. Patrick, what's up? Patrick, by the way, can throw a knuckleball. So for you baseball fans, Patrick is perfected at 11 years old throwing a knuckleball. So that's awesome, Patrick.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll demonstrate it on the next time I host. But and Emma had a great solo in for that song from Moana in your play, How Far I'll Go, and she crushed it. So a little bit about my kids. Always love sharing with you guys about these awesome kids. Yes, 8 years old, and you had your own solo. You're awesome. Now I have to say, no, they don't want to hear about me. They only want to hear about you. Kids are, yeah, don't worry about it. Anyway, let's get to our speaker for tonight before we run too long here. This guy's a long time attendee of DE, one of those just solid rocks that you can count on for a high five in the middle of the room. It's his second time doing the Tuesday night call, and I just want him to share his heart and passion for chiropractic tonight, and I am excited to welcome from Hobbs, New Mexico. Let's give it up for Dr. Gregg Klear. Love and appreciate you, Greg. Although Danny just texted me to stall. So let's see, Greg. Go get it, Greg.
Go.
All right, go, Greg. We'll just keep cheering for Greg while they're getting everything ready. Don't worry, he's gonna come on in a minute. Okay. Danny's working it out. We might have lost Greg, but Emma's gonna busy us with some fun eyeball tricks. Patrick, fart noises, something like that. All right. As they're getting the kinks worked out, I'm just gonna go and let's see what else we got. When does school start, you guys?
I don't know about that. I think it starts never.
Never. A week from Friday. So
Oh,
boom. Week and a half till school starts down here in Florida. I know in the north it starts in like October, but we're starting here pretty soon. Patrick, you're half the act here. We got a stall here. Where are you going? All right, Emma, now it's up to you. You want to sing your solo?
no.
No, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
balloon time.
All right. Okay. Now we think we are ready. Oh, we're gonna play with a balloon while we're waiting. That too. All right. Dr. Greg Klear, take it away, brother. We love and appreciate you.
All right. How we doing tonight? It's good to be here tonight. It's definitely an honor to be asked. And I'm still reeling from this last EE. I tell you, it was something special. Um, it was deep. It was powerful. Um, and for whatever reason, I never felt closer to everybody in that room. So thank you to all that was there. Um, Special shout out to the DE people that put it on. Kat and Lee and Nevaeh and all the DE team that puts it together. It's awesome. Danielle as well. Um, it was just a fantastic meeting. So here we are. And like I said, I'm still reeling. So um, kind of excited to share with where I'm at today. It's certainly different. And I know the theme of these talks is usually what has DE done for you? Uh, I'll give a little backstory and get up to speed. But what I really want to talk about is what's going on today. So uh, just to get the preliminaries out of the way, I didn't necessarily grow up knowing that I wanted to be a chiropractor. Um, Through the course of life, the way things started out, I went to a college prep high school. They were, 95% of the people went on to college, and by junior year, they wanted to know what your major was, and I just wasn't there. So my dad had a construction company. I started doing that. Um, Started at age 15. By the time I got to my early 30s, I was pretty beat up. And so, as life would have it, my sister married a chiropractor, and I started going to his office every Friday after work. And 6 months later, I'm a completely different person. I I have no desire to go back to construction. I had a very good job, but it just the whole time I did it, I just knew that's wasn't what I was created to do. So in the course of that 6 months, I had a lot of conversations. My then brother-in-law, his nephew was Butch Plentz. He worked with Dr. Felicia and the Renaissance program, and I had a few sit downs with Dr. Joe Felicia himself, and that was awesome. Um, so off to school I go at age 34. I graduated 38. Um, so I should just back up and say, this last DE was real raw and real, and I guess I'm gonna add a few details that I probably haven't really shared before. But the reason that chiropractic school was even possible was I got in a lot of trouble when I was younger. Um, I was on the fast track to nowhere, getting in a lot of trouble. I ended up with 2 DUIs before I was 21 years old, and judge thought it'd be a good idea if I went to AA. So I went to AA, and I should back up and say that my father got sober a year before this all happened. So um, it was something that we did together. Um, I don't know if I considered myself an alcoholic, but I certainly was in a lot of trouble. And my parents had gotten divorced at an early age. So for whatever reason, I modeled my father's behavior. Um, but as a result of that, I was sober for 15 years, 13 years going into chiropractic school. And I certainly wouldn't have been able to get through chiropractic school if I was drinking, that's for sure. But I remember I really envy the students nowadays. they have DE, they have all these things going on, and that wasn't the case for me in school. I didn't join any clubs. I was a little older than the other students. I ended up working at the chorus line in Davenport. If you're familiar with Davenport, you know what that is. But anyway, towards the end of schooling, you have all the national boards. There was 4 sets of national boards, and everybody's cutting loose and unwinding. And finally, towards the end, I succumbed and started drinking again. But anyway, I moved to Hobbs, New Mexico. I'm from Ohio originally. So I moved down to Hobbs, New Mexico. It's right in the corner of the Panhandle. It's literally 3 miles from Texas. And I've been here since I graduated. Palmer was an awesome school. Guy Reekman was president when I was there. I learned how to adjust, but I didn't learn a whole lot about running an office. And when I bought my practice, I inherited a CA that had been working there for 17 years. And so I didn't have to worry about training anybody. I had somebody that was well versed and all that stuff. But there came a time when we parted ways, and I was left not knowing how to train a front office person. And so I got taken advantage of a few times. I've been stolen from and all that stuff. But life goes on. And so I graduated in '01. I moved to Hobbs, New Mexico, didn't know a soul. I wish I had stayed involved in chiropractic and joined the club and all this other stuff, but I was pretty much on my own and a single guy, and so I was wild and partied a lot and got into motorcycles and probably put over 100,000 miles on a motorcycle with trips and stuff. And in 2008, practice was not real good. I joined a practice management firm. It was AMC. It helped me out a little bit and got me on track, but in the end, it wasn't for me. Wearing a white coat, and it seemed like MD wannabe kind of stuff. But anyways, I had a lot going on. I think I've spoken on here once before. I talked about a motorcycle accident that happened in 2014. That happened, it was midsummer, and I went to the first DE my first DE was the 50th anniversary. And so I remember it was a big deal. I remember feeling welcomed. But I also felt like I was just overwhelmed. It was like a love bomb. I mean, the energy in the room was overwhelming. And I'll be honest, I think for the first year and a half, 2 years, I just kind of wept back in the corner because I wanted what you guys had and didn't know how to get there, but it just kept showing up. So then this talk is not about alcohol, but it kind of all ties together. In 2016, not a real proud moment, but I actually got pulled over. It was the night before Father's Day in 2014, or no, it was 2016, or no, I don't know. Anyway, I just remember I got pulled over on a Saturday night, and I spent the next 40 hours in jail. And that's pretty sobering when you're 15 years in practice, and now you have the threat of losing your license and losing everything and all that stuff. That carried on for over a year, but it was eventually dropped. The arresting officer never showed up for court. I think I had some friends that had something to do with that. I don't know for sure, but kind of dodged a bullet there. And then, but anyway, this whole time in DE, I'm coming, I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it. But I'm not doing things right. I'm partying the whole time. Every time there's a break, there's 3 or 4 guys we partied pretty hard, and oddly enough, they don't seem to come to meetings anymore. So, but anyway, this is not about alcohol. There's lots of good ups and downs, and in the course of coming to DE, I had an experience in 2020. I got 3 different adjustments on a DE weekend, and my hearing was restored. I've been wearing hearing aids for 8 months prior to that, and I got adjusted on a Friday night, and Saturday I went to scratch my ear midday, and my hearing aids were in. And to this day, I'm still not wearing them. So that was pretty awesome. 2024, July 2024, that's when I had this experience on the way home. I was flying home, and I just heard the Holy Spirit. He stepped in and said, "Greg, if you want to get to where you want to go, you're going to have to leave some things behind." I said, "Okay." And then the next thing I heard was alcohol. I said, "Okay." And he literally delivered me on the spot. I didn't know my last drink was my last drink. I have not had a desire to drink since. And then oddly enough, we have this last DE, which is exactly 2 years later. Still sober, haven't touched a drink. And this last DE was probably one of the most powerful DEs I've been to. I mean, it was real, it was raw, it was authentic. And like I said, it just made me feel closer to every single person in that room. And let's another thing too that really kind of blows my mind is I've never met Dr. Sid. And so this DE that you guys put on 4 times a year, the power, the impact, Dr. Sid is certainly smiling on all of you that this is carrying on. There continues to be people that have been away for a long time and come back, and they're shocked at how much, if not better than the original DE it was. Forgive me for saying that. I wasn't there in the beginning, and I know you had some real rock stars with Dr. Santos, and all those. But what I want to talk about really is where I'm at today. And it's probably happened in 2024, but it took 10 years to break this mentality that I'm broken, that I need fixing, that something's just not right. And when I took the biggest rock out of my backpack, which was alcohol, things began to change immensely. I began to like who I saw in the mirror. I began to be less angry. I began to really begin loving and nurturing my patients. And there's been a lot of good things that have happened in the last couple of years. One of the things I'm probably most proud of is the environment that we created in our office. It's so organic, so loving. I mean, people comment all the time that they just want to come and be there just because it's good energy and they want to be there. I've got it's, so let me back up a little bit. 2016, I had the motorcycle anyway, I'm getting all mixed up with my stuff, but 2016, I got in a motorcycle accident. I met my now wife, Ginger, in October of 2016. And we were dating just a short time, and she asked if she could work at the office. And thank God she did. She has really turned that place around. I used to be paper files and stamp the file and travel cards, and she, I probably got a stack of resignation letters this high. She says, "I pulled files in high school. I'm done with that shit. We need to get up to speed." So everything's all digital. We're completely cash, no modalities, just 100% pure chiropractic. And I'm having the time of my life and absolutely love it. Another interesting thing that happens is I have a Tommy in my office. I'm going to continue to call him Tommy. That's not his real name, but it's a DE meeting every time he comes into the office. He comes twice a week. He's uh, he's 40 years old. He's already had 2 strokes. He's doesn't work. His life has really been kind of crappy. And he started coming in, and he started coming in once a week, and now he's coming twice a week. But he's just a living example of DE. He comes in, and you can look in his eyes, and his pilot light is almost out. And I'll adjust him, and he just comes alive, and he spends the next 15 minutes just like he couldn't move his hands before. And he spends the next 15 minutes trying to explain how amazing he feels just because he got adjusted. And it's it's pretty special. I mean, I've never been in a better place. I've never been more confident. I've never been more certain that just practice is just an absolute blast right now. And I hate to say it took 10 years to unload my backpack at DE when Peter Hamliger doubled his practice in 3 weeks. But some are slower than others. But the hardest lessons are the lessons you learn the most from. And so it's it's amazing. There's a lot of good things that have happened in the last couple of years. I talked about the office environment. I've talked about Tommy. I was involved with the ICA. I was the representative for New Mexico. And then we all know what happened with that. So I pulled out of that. And while I was a representative for New Mexico, I was in contact with Rod Justice from IFCO and just trying to keep him in the loop. And then when I left the ICA and joined the IFCO, I just said, "Hey, I'm not here to take over. I just want to help out." And he said, "Would you like to be on the board for the Alliance of New Mexico Chiropractors?" And I said, "Absolutely." So one thing led to another. So now I'm in New Mexico. It's probably one of the worst states for chiropractic, but we're there. We're fighting. We're trying to. It seems like our job at this point is trying to stay one step ahead of the NMCA, and before they pull anything, we've got a very good lobbyist that seems to have a good pulse on what's going on. So we're gonna keep New Mexico from getting too far off track, but it's just I don't know. I'm just super excited. I love you all. I can't believe how amazing this last EE was. Can't wait to come to the next one. It's been 12 years now, and I've built some amazing relationships with people all over the world. And we definitely are a band of brothers. We definitely have everyone's back, and we'll go to the grave for each other. At least I will. I will for the principle. So I'm running out of words, but thank you so much. And like I say, it was absolutely amazing, DE. I'm finally healing the healer, as Judson would say, and emptying the backpack. But it's been an awesome ride, and I love you all. Thank you.
Greg, man, that was an awesome call, buddy. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Greg.
Can hear you.
Oh. Greg, can you hear me? Well, hopefully somebody can hear me. No. Great job. Great job. Thank you, Greg. I don't know if he can hear me. If you guys can hear me, great. He did a great job. Thank you all for being on the Tuesday night Principal Cairo broadcast. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night. Great job, Greg. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Have a great night, everybody.